Hello, I'm Dave Mowitz, and welcome to Successful Farming. On today's program, I investigate the prices being paid for older semi-trucks. You know, the marketplace is glutted with used semis, so it's going to be interesting to see what a 1994 Freightliner sells for. Feedlot panels can do more than keep livestock in. You're going to appreciate how feedlot panels can be used for shop storage. I traveled to Washington State to view a beautifully restored John Deere 40 crawler. And after these brief messages, I tour a shop created from an old machine shed. It's pretty amazing to see what the Forbes family did with this shed remodel. So please stay tuned. Not every great shop necessarily starts out as a shop. That was the case with Hugh and Jeff Forbes of Media, Illinois. Their 72-foot wide by 75-foot deep structure started out as a dirt floor machine shed with a lean-to roof on one side that served as a livestock loafing area. But the Forbes outgrew their old shop and needed more repair area. So they cast an eye over at the machine shed and cattle shed and started scheming a shop remodel. Hugh describes how that conversion took place. Well, Hugh, start out describing the farm operation. You farming with your wife and son, right?
Correct, yeah. We've got about half and half corn and beans, about 350 acres of each.
So Hugh, you started out with a machine shed, the lean-to off to the side, and that was an open lean-to, kind of a loafing area for the livestock, and had a feedlot out there then as well. Mm-hmm. So along the way, did you ever intend for this to be a shop, or was that something that just kind of evolved?
No, we didn't have that idea 40 years ago. We had a 24 by 50 some shop over in another building, and we just outgrew it. And 40 years of we needed to do some sprucing up here anyway on the building, so we just decided to make a shop out of it.
Here is a top shop tour first, a shop pit that can be used both lengthways as well as sideways. Talk a little bit about the pit. This was something Jeff wanted to have to do.
Yeah, to oil changes and working on underside of vehicles. We've got some semis and so forth, so yeah, that was his idea. It's worked out real well. I was kind of skeptical, but it's a very good addition, and he's got lights in there so you can see what he's doing and so forth. Do a lot of oil changes in the pit.
Well, this is kind of the first I've ever seen in the pit. You also made these angle iron pathways.
Yeah, if we want to approach it from the side, like pull a pickup in there. Well, through the south door, we can drive across. Yeah, we can drive across the pit if we want to.
That's kind of cool. That's the first, like I say, it's the first time I've ever seen a pit used sideways as well as lengthways then. Mm-hmm. And then the whole idea with that side door was you can run vehicles in for oil changes during the winter.
And not have to open the big door.
And not lose all that heat along the way then. The Forbes were limited to ceiling height by the original structure's 16-foot sidewalls. As such, when they equipped their shop with a 42-foot wide hydro swing door whose clearance, when open, is nearly level with the ceiling. In the process of laying this out too, you then started dividing out your work area. Most of this you left open so you could get big equipment in here, with your planter being the primary thing you kind of sized it to, right?
Yeah, the door is 42 foot wide.
And this is a hydro swing door?
Yes, 16 foot full access to the top.
Right.
And the widest thing we got is the planter. It's 36 foot.
Right.
So we can go in and out of the door with it.
Now, you kept most of your kind of work area under the lean-to. That's where you put a lot of your storage then and items like that. The workbench that you work on and things like that. You added to the lean-to a little bit. That's your tire changing area?
And we got shelves there for storage of various fillers and that sort of thing.
Talk about the jib hoist. You found that at a lock and dam along the Mississippi River?
Well, Jeff come on that. Some guy had gotten it out of lock and dam on the Mississippi. I think we gave $600 for it.
Oh, no kidding.
And I guess we should have painted it before we put it up, and we thought we were going to kill it, one another, falling on us, but we successfully got it there.
So did you have to pour extra concrete in the base?
We did.
So do you find yourself using the hoist?
Yeah, quite a bit.
At one time in the corner of the shop, Jeff partitioned off a little area. That was supposed to be kind of a warm work area.
Yeah.
With his own access door outside. It turns out you really didn't need that then.
No, because it stays warm enough in here. We put that in there in case we wanted to work on some little stuff, you know, and thought we wouldn't have to heat it up so much. But since it never freezes and it doesn't take too long to warm it up, we just have never used it for that. So we've got parts in there and various stuff, and then we've got the storage on top.
Yeah.
Where the air compressor is and the furnace.
Tell us about the office. What size structure did you add for that?
Well, originally we were talking 24 by 24, and then we ended up making it 30 by 30. And it's big enough. We have family get-togethers, and we have a group that plays 4-point pitch now and then.
That explains all the tables.
Yeah, we've got the old Formica chrome retro tables, you know, and ran around the country collecting those. And so it's also a place to put all the collectibles and that sort of thing.
Which you have a few.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Besides farming, you for fun, you collect numerous signs that we see across.
Signs, clocks, thermometers, mirrors, tractors.
And you have a preference in tractors?
They would be red, and I'm not talking Massey Harris. So.
One of the great features of the Forbes shop and office complex is outside the structure in this courtyard area that serves as an outdoor service bay. One thing I noticed, which was a nice feature, is you have a nice work area out here, outside, right in front of the main door.
Yep.
And then you actually put a porch on the side of the office facing that area. Kind of creates a courtyard here, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, you're in the shade if you want to work out here for, you know, part of the day, till early afternoon. And that over there was just, we parked gators under there and stuff like that, you know. Got some chairs set out there occasionally.
Some guys have cupolas on their building.
Yeah.
You have a bell tower?
Yeah. And, well, I'm into cupolas and weather vanes, and we have cupolas on this building, that building over there, and I've got another one over there to put up on a building over there at some point in time.
Yeah, isn't enough just to have a cupola. You have to have the weather vane on.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Converting an existing structure to a shop poses some challenges when that conversion involves the addition of an extra structure, as was the case with the Forbes shop. The challenge is not the actual addition, but finding a contractor willing to do the custom work to put on the extra structure. So if you're considering making an addition to your shop structure, you may have to shop around for a builder willing to do the custom work. I'll see you next time on another Top Shop Tour. Join me at auction to see what older semi-trucks are worth these days. I feature some great shop storage ideas created from feedlot panels. So please stay tuned. Welcome to Steel Deals. The trade wars have certainly been a challenge for agriculture by depressing prices, but there's a silver lining to this dark cloud. Let me explain. A spending spree egged on by higher demand for trucking the past several years has had a head-on crash with the trade war. Until this spring, sales of both new and used Class 7 and 8 trucks were booming. But the trade war slowed demand for trucking in 2019, and a bulge of older trucks are hitting dealer and auction lots this winter. Dealers are reporting continued decline in used truck prices and growing inventories. The silver lining for farmers in this is that used truck sales have dropped 18% in the past year. In particular, sales of truck values below $50,000 have dropped 30%. So I'll be very interested to see what this 1994 Freightliner brings at a sale being conducted by Steffes auctioneers. Now, why am I interested in this truck? Well, it appears to have been well cared for despite its age. More importantly, it shows this 294,000 miles. And it sells with a Cat 3176 engine and has solid rubber underneath it. Now, before this truck sells, I'm going to go talk to Tim Meyer of the Steffes Group to get his take on semi-sale prices. Boy, everything's in flux in the truck industry right now. What's going on?
Boy, I don't know, Dave. You know, that truck's unique because it's pre-2000, but this
pre-Tier 4.
Pre-Tier 4, pre-ELD. That truck's really lined up for a farmer to buy that truck, but the trucking market as a whole is definitely not normal right now.
So what's going on? Is it just the trade war? Did we get a glut of used trucks as a result of that? Is it just that used values and it's a good time to buy a used semi-truck, it sounds like.
Absolutely it is, and I think the newer you go, the better buy it is. Now this truck's a 94, but definitely our over-the-road trucks that are selling right now are probably the best buys on the market.
Pre-Tier 4 trucks still bringing a premium?
Absolutely, and you know, you can buy a 2000 truck as long as it has a pre-2000 engine in it.
Right.
So if you're buying a 2000 truck, and I know this one's a 94, you need to ask the auction company, what's the serial number on the motor? Because if that motor could be an 01, then it's definitely got some emissions and ELD things. But if it's pre-2000, then you've got some options there you can go with.
Well, and we even had companies like Mack, for example, went with exhaust gas recirculation alone for a while before they went with a diesel particulate filter or DEF. So that really is a mixture of engines in that 2007 changeover on into 10, 11, and 12. Now we're settled out on the engines, aren't we?
Right, and the trucks that you really want to be aware of are the 07, 08, and 09s. That's when they were starting to get into this emissions, and those trucks are ones you want to really start asking some questions. Ask the auction company, ask for the paperwork. If it's not documented in the truck world, you really don't have much, Dave.
So what's the value of farmer-owned? 25% more, 30% more, what?
I think in today's market, it can even be 100% more.
Really?
I don't know about this truck that we're going to sell, but that can be typical. These truck auctions have some opportunities that maybe aren't farm sales, that you can buy some trucks, and there's opportunities in that market to buy trucks maybe a little bit cheaper than on a farm retirement sale.
If I could put you on the spot, what do you think the Freightliner will bring?
I think that truck's probably going to land somewhere between $3,000 and $6,000.
Oh my gosh, how could you walk away from a deal like that?
I know, Dave.
Yeah.
You know what? You could be over the road. We could put you in the truck and take off. And
that's what we could do. We could shoot the show with it. No, I mean, but for hauling grain to market or even out of the field.
Absolutely.
That is the cheapest horsepower you can buy to transport grain, wouldn't it be?
It really is, and guys are transporting a lot of grain with trucks now, so it's a good time to buy.
Tim, thanks for that information. Let's watch that Freightliner sell.
$37.50 bid, $37.50, $37.50 bid, $35 bid, $37. The opportunity right here. $37.50 is all. $36, but do it quick. $35 bid, $3,600. $35 bid at the bottom, $600, $600. Anybody else? Here we go. $3,600 there. I thought I'd bring more. $35, $3,600 there. 30. That's why we come to auctions here. Now 37. I knew it was another guy. 37, 38, 3,800. Good honest truck. Now 39, 38, 39, 38. Don't quit on me now. 38 at the end, 39. Yes, no, gotta go. 3,900. 39 there, 39. Sold it in the crowd. 3,800.
So the final bid on a Freightliner was just $3,800. So was that a bargain for a semi-truck? Well, the answer to that depends on the truck. This particular truck was 25 years old, but it showed just 294,000 miles. But those miles were very questionable. I would hit the internet looking for comparables, and I found 6 similar Freightliners with prices between $5,000 up to $11,000. Now, it's essential if you are looking at old semis to do a thorough investigation on the truck. Call the previous owner. Ask how the truck was used and maintained. Get the shop records if they're available to see what major work has been completed on the truck. Finally, ask the dealer or auctioneer for their opinion on that truck's value. For more information about Steffes sales, go to the website at steffesgroup.com. I'll see you again next week on another Steel Deals Report. Have you ever improvised a repair, fashioned a homemade tool, or created a shop get-by or make-do? Then you'll appreciate today's shop hacks. Hog panels can do more than keep livestock in. They can be employed for shop storage. You put hog panels to work to store bungee cords, ratchet straps, chains, even jumper cables. You cut whatever length and width the panel you have, an old panel, and then you hang it on the wall wherever you think it's appropriate. You start by hanging the cords and straps and chains, whatever you have that's vertical. The neat thing about this storage tip is you can readily see the length of the cords or straps that you need to use. Plus, he keeps them out of the dirt and the dust. You know, I've done a pretty good job hanging up my power cords, but the pegboard storage system that I have, well, either the hangers got bent or it started pulling out the pegboard. I hate to have the cords in tubs or piles on the floor, so I took a length of livestock paneling. I cut off the wire at one end at the appropriate distance and bent them out. And voila, you have a super sturdy power cord storage system. Guess what? You can do the same thing with panels to create bucket storage, but be sure to use extra wide square panels. Or you can also use it to create a boot storage rack or a coat rack. Well, you get the idea. Use your imagination and start using up that old hog panel. We would love to hear about your shop shortcuts, tips, or make-dos. Send us your shop hack. If we use it on the show or in Successful Farming magazine, we're going to pay you a $200 reward. Send us a detailed description and images to the link below. I'll see you again next time on another shop hack. Join me as I feature a beautifully restored John Deere crawler from Washington State after these brief messages. Our Aegis Iron feature tractor this week is part of Jerry Wilsey's Deere herd here in Pomeroy, Washington. And this is a 1954 40C. And you can see the herd behind us. He started out with one John Deere A, and then it kind of took over. This is the only crawler you have in your collection.
Correct. Yeah.
Now, a little bit of background on this crawler. This was not the first crawler in Deere's line. That would have been
The Lindemann, I assume, would
the
be
Lindemann. I think it was the B with a Lindemann crawler unit on it.
Correct.
But this was John Deere's undercarriage and track system that they came out with.
Right.
So this was a crawler tractor. I'm guessing we're in Washington State, but we're mostly in southeastern Washington State.
This came from Walla Walla. I was on a little irrigated little farm down there. The guy, a friend of mine, had it. His dad had it.
Really?
They kind of subdivided the property, and so they didn't need this thing anymore. So
Yeah.
he had mentioned something about it, and well, of course.
Now the whole thing about a crawler is that you're all on tires except for this little baby.
Yes.
And this gets to be a lot of fun. Was
Yeah.
the tracks in pretty good shape?
Yes, everything was pretty much like it was, except, I mean, we had to do a little motor work and a little roller work and a little paint and a few things.
A little paint at the job. By the way, with one thing I noticed in here I wanted to point out, there's many different ways to get a crawler to work on asphalt.
Yes.
This is the unique one, and you got to tell me about these grousers, rubber grousers that you put on.
These are out of the R72 Gleaner Combine.
And this is on the concave then?
Yes, it's in the rotor assembly in there.
And the rotor assembly. And so you found these on a farm and they were used?
Yes.
They had these sitting in a pile. So all you had to really do is, did you have to add the bolt hole then? And
Yeah, I drilled the bolts and had to cut these off because they were much longer, and
right.
and just had to drill some holes and mount them up.
These are rubber. They come with a steel insert that they were molded around the steel. So now you put these on, it helps give you extra traction. You say you take this out in the snow,
Right.
or pull a sled for the grandkids and the kids in the neighborhood. But the nice thing about it, you can take the shows and go on asphalt.
Yes.
Is this going to be the first and last crawler in your collection?
I wouldn't guarantee it.
Because you really started out with a John Deere 8, kind of figured you had something to do, and then it kind of grew a little bit, as we see back here.
Right.
So what's the next acquisition?
Well, I hope it's a 730 or 620 or 630 standard.
You like that 30?
Wheatland look type.
You
tractors.
like the Wheatland kind of beefy tractors.
Yes.
Well, I'll see you next time on another Aegis Iron Feature Tractor of the Week. Please join us next week for another outstanding show. In the meantime, be sure to visit the show's website at agriculture.com/TV to get more information on this show and to view past episodes. And as always, let us know what you think of the show. Look for the show's email address at agriculture.com/TV. See you next week on Successful Farming. Hi, I'm Dave Mowitz. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit subscribe right here if you haven't already, and click that little bell right here to be notified when we post a new video. And click here to see more great episodes from Successful Farming Television.